If you're a new dad out there that is having a tough time early on, I think this video can help you. 5 years ago, I became a father for the first time, and it was the happiest time of my life. But it was also the most challenging time of my life. I had questions that I would internalize that would keep me up at night and that I was afraid to ask. And it made it a lot less enjoyable for me. But fast forward to today, I'm a father of three, having just had my third child last year in February of 2025. And I think now I have the maturity, the experience, and the courage to start addressing some of those questions that I think, might help another dad out there who is currently struggling. And I really hope it can help someone out there. So week number 9, you might be asking yourself, and I know I was going through week number 9, why does everybody else's baby seem easier? And the short answer to that is there's going to be some easier babies and there's going to be some harder babies. And everybody's baby is different. I remember when my first son was born, it was during the pandemic and we couldn't really go anywhere. And all we had was social media. And I still see some of the same reels today where it's just a dad and his baby, and it's just a happy moment, right? Just baby smiling, giggling, giving great eye contact, smiling at the dad, and yeah, those moments happen. For sure they happen. But you don't see like the nighttime routines, right? The baby waking up every couple hours, you struggling to keep it together at 2 a.m. when your wife's exhausted, you're exhausted, you've tried everything, nothing works, and you're just in it together, right? Like you're just a shell of yourself, and you don't really see that. And it's funny. We went to a cottage this past summer, and we have 3 kids now, and our youngest is almost a year now, but around that time she was in her first 3 to 4 months, maybe around week 9, I don't remember, but she was young, and stayed at the cottage, and another couple who also have a baby around our age. They it's their first, and they had a tough time. They had a tough time just managing being away from home. I don't think the baby was sleeping that well, and I remember the dad coming upstairs, and you could tell he had a long night, and uncomfortable bed at these cottages, right? It's not always the memory foam you're experiencing. Remember he had a hoodie on, and the hood was up, and it was like really early in the morning. He said, what are we drinking, right? And I think he was half serious because, yeah, he had a rough night, and a lot of dads have those nights, man. It's just you don't see it, but I could feel exactly what he was going through because I went through it 5 years ago with my first son. And the truth of the matter is, easy. The term "easy" changes, right? Looking at his situation, removed from mine, it seems easy taking care of a child, right? Just one baby, right? I have 3, and it was definitely not easy. But as I grew as a father, my definition of easy changed. Because I got better, right? I grew up. I got more patient. I learned how to do it. I just showed up every day, and And I would say like everybody's baby is different. I think if you start comparing yourself to all the highlights of everybody's baby, you're gonna get pretty discouraged pretty quickly. Because deep down, and I'll tell you this, everybody's baby is difficult. The first few months, first few weeks, whether you're in week 9 or week 15, like it's tough in the beginning, right? Especially if it's your first. So I think you have so much information going into your head that the quicker you can just ignore all that and just focus on your baby, and this is the baby, and this is the task at hand, and this is what we can improve on, and looking at the little wins and not tracking your baby on a curve. Take it from me, it's going to make your fatherhood experience so much more enjoyable. Because when I look back, at my first son, he was the easy one. He slept well. He didn't have any gas for the most part, right? Like, he was the easiest. And then my second child came, who was my daughter, and she was the hardest. But I think she changed me the most. Like, you remember the hard moments, man. You remember when the moments are intense, right? When you're in the grind and you're waking up every hour and you're just building a different version of yourself. Like, you feel it, right? Like, you remember those moments so vividly that it's almost like time went by slower, and it made it so much more enjoyable than when it was easy. Like, I remember excuse me. I remember all the times I was in bed and she would just cry, and how uncomfortable it would make me feel, because I knew I would never get a good night's sleep. But I kept showing up. I remember all the times that she would spit up when I put her down, and I would have to change her onesie and clean her up and put her back to sleep. And I remember all the times I had her on my shoulder and kept her there for 40 minutes upright, just so I could settle her stomach for the rest of the night. And those weeks in my mind now seem like the memory was so intense that I just can't forget it, and it just is a powerful memory. And when people say, hey, the years just flew by when I had kids, I understand that, but I also know that for me it wasn't that way, because I got to live it all, right? I got to experience it all, the good, the bad. Definitely wasn't easy, and I would end it with, I don't think you want it to be easy, honestly. And because you just remember so much more. If all the days are the same, like my first son, if he sleeps all night and he's like a model baby, it just went by so fast. And with my other 2 kids, especially with my middle child, I just remember the struggle, and I remember how difficult it was and how I got through it, right? How I knew it wasn't going to end. I knew it was going to be tough, and I just stuck through it. And quicker you can realize that having an easier time is not your friend, I think the happier you'll be. And then you can stop comparing yourself to others and just look forward to the person that you're going to end up meeting, which is your baby, and also look forward to the person that you're going to be looking at in the mirror, and that's you. So, I really hope this video helped a new dad out there. And I'll see you in the next one.